Delighted this morning to welcome AD to Installers Net Zero Festival. Today, this session here, we're going to be getting a few tips and tricks on how we can help move the UK towards a greener future. So we're going to learn a bit about the impact of inefficient heating systems and what impact that can have on the environment, and what we can all do to reduce our household's carbon footprint quite quickly and easily. So we have here with me Colin and Darren. Colin, Senior Technical Trainer, and Darren, National Specification Director at AD, who are going to give a bit of a presentation for you. And we will also be have a little bit of time for some questions at the end, and we encourage you guys to ask your questions in the Q&A feature here, because even if we don't get time to get into it today, we will absolutely get back, the guys will get back to you with a sort of personal answer to all of your questions as well. So it's a great opportunity to do that. So thank you very much, Colin and Darren, and I will hand over to you.
Excellent. Ben, thanks ever so much, and very good morning to you all. Yeah, we're here today just to talk about the retrofit piece, how AD are striving to do our part to ensure carbon reduction is happening, not just across the UK, but across our businesses across America and Asia as well. So this is, today we're talking specifically about the UK, and we've got a presentation we'd like to run through with everybody, which hopefully you can understand the importance to this.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, good morning, everybody. Colin here. Looking forward to this morning's session, myself and Darren. And we've got some really nice little tips and insights on how we can get our heating system to be working a lot more efficiently and look after this planet of ours. So, yeah, thank you, Dan.
Excellent. Okay. So just a very quick, brief overview. So for me, we're talking about Mission 2050, which everybody has seen in the news, with the Chancellor creating some new strategies with the Green Homes Grant, which has been unveiled. Also, the homeowners voucher scheme that's coming out as well. So for me, there's a huge emphasis on ensuring that not just from a commercial point of view, but also everybody in their home is doing their part to reduce carbon there. So if I go back many a year when I was a young child, the big part was the ozone layer, and we all had to reduce using aerosol cans, etc. So this carbon reduction really has stemmed from there, and previously, obviously, there. But we're now moving more into a specific targeting with carbon reduction. And we'll go through within the presentation, just show you different sectors where it is really making a really detrimental effect in the UK, and how AD, with the filters, the chemicals, and the adopting the best practice, can actually help this here. The main thing that we're also seeing across the new build sector and the social housing sector is that social housing providers are looking to increase the boilers that are in their tenants' properties to get them up to a band C by 2030. So it's moving away from poor energy consumption boilers and coal and this type of energy, and moving them to more efficient band C and above boilers, which for me is absolutely fantastic to see. We're seeing on the new build sector that the government also put a piece out there that they're not looking to have gas boilers in the new build sector from 2025. So air source heat pumps is the big buzzword at the moment that people are moving towards, looking at adopting this across the new build sector as well, which AD can assist with the twin tech and chemical products that we produce. Okay, so with this here, this is quite the stark reality of what exactly is happening to the UK cities. And we can see that in London with the, we've got the congestion zone charging there, that transport makes up a huge amount of carbon that's being released across there. A quarter of it's coming from transport. Interestingly, energy supply at 23%, which is relatively high as well. Businesses that are heating and using electricity, well, we're seeing with COVID at the moment that's actually reduced at the moment, because obviously offices and factories aren't at full steam at the moment, but no doubt that will increase again. And then the last one, and the one that Colin and I are going to talk about today, is on the residential side. So if we can reduce that 13.4% carbon reduction across the heating and hot water pieces, then we feel like we've contributed our part to that carbon reduction piece.
Yeah, I say, Darren, I think just on that, sorry, on that one slide, I think, you know, that transport emissions there, tremendously high figure there, you know, and I think maybe, I don't know about you guys, but, you know, with this COVID-19, it's horrendous that's been going on, when things were at that shutdown and the lack of vehicles on the road, it certainly felt, the atmosphere felt cleaner. I don't know about you guys, whether it was just, you know, you could tell by that transport is obviously a huge thing there, but the residential side, we've got to do better. So yeah, I think
you're absolutely right, Colin, and I also think as well that you know, we do have a moral obligation to actually look at this, and it's great to see that when you travel around London that taxis are moving to electric vehicles. There's a lot more electric charging points up and down the motorway. That the battery technology is only getting better as well. So all of this is contributing for our future generations to actually have a healthy place to live.
Excellent.
So as we discussed earlier on, the UK accounts for 13.4% of all CO2 emissions, which for me is massive. That we've got these gas boilers, oil boilers out there that are, when, especially in the winter months, that are chugging out all of this this carbon there. The heating system obviously is going to be the biggest resource on that carbon there as well. So again, in the next few slides, you'll actually see how we can actually assist with that as well. Okay, so what's the solution? So this is just the build up to where Colin and I are really getting into the detail here. So we did some independent research, and we've actually seen that retrofitting is definitely the biggest player and part how we can make this work. So if you look in the UK at the moment, there's approximately 21 million boilers that are installed across the whole of the UK, and 5 million of these boilers have no protection from sludge. And Colin will go into a little bit of detail about what sludge is and its magnetite, and how this actually puts damage to the heating system and the key intricate parts within that system as well. So we'll talk about that in a little bit of detail in a bit. And the thing is with this is that for me, retrofitting is definitely not putting a plaster on a system. So with the key components within a boiler, it turns into hundreds of pounds worth of costs if these fail due to sludge in the system there. So it's about being proactive rather than reactive. And retrofit for us is the new driver that we will be rolling out across the new build, across the social housing, and not only that, the one-off sector. So yours and my property, it's about protecting that so that when we are using hot water heating, that those systems are running as efficient as possible. So just to put a little bit of meat on the bone to this, so for us, we've got the opportunity. So we see that 1.7 million boilers are fitted in the UK year in, year out. So, and that figure's been the same for a long period of time there. So, but the area that hasn't been really looked at is this retrofit piece. So people that have got a heating system that is working, it may not be working efficiently, but it's about putting the right AD methods to that system to ensure that you're actually getting a reduced amount of energy. So gas bills reducing in price, and we'll come on to that a little bit later on. And then today, as we opened up with, it's about reducing the amount of carbon that's going into the atmosphere. And again, in the next couple of slides, you'll see that we did some independent research with Kiwa Gas Tech, who actually came about with the data that we'll present it in a little while as well. So, and these are the main features that we're talking about here. It's about just reducing the amount of call outs as well. So when we get into the winter months as well, everybody turns their boilers on. All of that magnetite has been stagnant in the pipework for a few months. So once you turn that room stat on, it's just going to reinvigorate all of that sludge that's going to go straight into that boiler, and then it will start to reduce the efficiency of the boiler, and the net result is that boiler will fail as well.
Yeah. I'm going to say, Dan, if I may just say, obviously, guys, at the bottom there, that that figure, that 72% of time spent on service and maintenance, that's a huge figure as well, Dan. And I think what a tremendous opportunity that is to, you're in the customer's house, you're seeing what they've got in the house by servicing the boiler, and that retrofit opportunity could be looking you in the eye to get that water quality better for the customer and get this boiler working a lot more efficient.
Absolutely. So for us, really just to highlight this last bit on retrofit is the biggest driver that's out there at the moment. The new boiler installs will continue being roughly the same kind of figure there, but retrofit is a huge opportunity to actually upgrade these heating systems to ensure that you get trouble-free problems from the heating when we get into the winter months as well. So from an installer's point of view, the great thing is with this as well that there's over 3 million services that are done in the UK each year. This is a great opportunity for installers to actually look at rounding a heating system up to include a filter, to include the correct water treatment procedures and test that water as well. That's really, really important, which we'll come on to in the next couple of slides as well, to ensure that when they leave that property, that customer's heating and hot water system is going to be running absolutely top drawer for the next service. So this is our evil little friend here, Sludge Monster. He's the one that causes all these system breakdowns. So again, we did independent testing and to find out what the main causes of boiler breakdowns are. And the next slide will show you exactly what they are. But sludge and magnetite in the system, which Colin will just go over what that is in a second, is the major cause of system breakdowns within heating systems. And the trouble is with that magnetite, there is no miracle cure. There is no magic potion you can put in the system and it will get rid of it forever. And that if it's left untreated, it just continues to grow and grow. So things like radiators, you get cold spots where it's cold at the bottom of the radiator, but hot at the top. So that magnetite arc that you can see in the picture there is growing and growing there. And that the boiler, it starts to kettle and make quite a noisy system there. We're seeing now with the new ERP rated pumps that have a belt of magnets inside the spindle as well, that are water cooled. So magnetite can get trapped in there and burn pumps out as well at a significant cost in there as well. And all the time that we're trying to push this dirty black sludge water around the system, all we're doing is using more and more energy, which is contributing to more and more carbon being released.
Yeah, absolutely. Darren, I was just going to say, well, at this point, I think maybe let's just go through a little bit what is magnetite, if I may, if that's okay, just to magnetite, our little monster there, is known as magnetite. You know, it's commonly referred to as sludge, black iron oxide, and referred to a lot of other things to get carpet on, I can assure you. But it's basically, you know, a dark substance, dissolved and rusting metals, basically, with fresh water, which contains oxygen. And obviously in a central heating system, we have brass, steel, copper, fresh water with oxygen in it. Basically, we're going to start having a reaction, and we're going to start to get this magnetite to happen. And obviously, it's key we get the water treatment in there to stop this. And like I say, I've got a little demonstration I'd like to just show you if I may, and you might see this again a bit later on, guys. AD have a demo jar here, and Dan was mentioning magnetite, what is magnetite? Like I say, it's very small, guys. It's 8 microns, it's tiny, but when it's put together, it will cause major issues in central heating systems. So there we are, look at that. That water quality doesn't look very good. That could be in the central heating system of a customer. And you can see by us putting a magnetic filter on there, instantly the magnetite's been drawn to one area that has basically stopped that dirty water from getting into all the components as Darren mentioned. So you can see that, hang on a minute, if we start to get a filter on the system, that's part one. There's lots of other parts we want to bring together for you to make sure we get this water quality right. Just one other thing, Darren mentioned, you know, about corrosion, how rapid it is. And I just wanted, again, another, you may see these again a bit later on, by the way. I've got my little pot here. Now in there, guys, is a steel nail there, okay, with fresh water. It's about 3-4 weeks old now. And you can see that does not look healthy, does it? That is corrosion, which is rapid with that fresh water. In here, same time, water with a nail in again, but a little bit of inhibitor, MC1 plus. Look at that quality there. I know which one I would like in my heating system.
And I take with this, Colin, as well, it doesn't matter if this is a brand new heating system as well. So if you're having new radiators, new pipework, new boiler, that over a short period of time, that magnetite will start to grow in the system.
Absolutely, because you've got new rads on, because you've got a new boiler on. Look, if you've not got that water quality treated, you are going to have that corrosion going on. You know, you've got that steel paneled radiator. You know, it's going to happen, I can assure you, and it is rapid.
Okay. Okay. So again, AD, where we did some work with a independent research company. These are the real facts that transpired from the research that came back. So, as Colin and I spoke about, the biggest fact is sludge is the biggest cause of boiler breakdowns. That if you see the picture on the right hand side, that dirty black water that's being pumped around customers' heating systems there. 21 million boilers that are fitted in the UK, 6 million service calls per year. And the frightening stats that are really, really scary, really, is that 15% of all boilers break down in the first year. And then out of that 15%, 60% of these is due to sludge, which for me, when we found these stats out, absolutely blew my mind that that dirty magnetite sludge in the system is going to make these boilers fail there as well. And then what's even more scary is that within the first 5 years is that 80% of them break down due to sludge. So what we're seeing more and more is that, and it's key that everybody's heating system is serviced on an annual basis, and that the inhibitor levels are checked as well by a water test, which we'll talk about again over the next few slides there, because it's not just about having a new boiler fitted, putting in a bottle of MC1 Plus at the start and thinking, well, that will do. Never need to replace that. We've got to look at educating homeowners to say, look, the heating system is a massive importance to you for heating and hot water, and that if you don't look after it, it will break down. It's very similar to a car analogy, that a car's got an oil filter on the engine to protect the key pistons in the engine. The oil inside is there to lubricate and ensure that there's no corrosion within the block of the car. And that's the exact same thing with the inhibitor. It's protecting that heating system from sludge buildup. there as well. And then the last stat, which is the knockout stat, is that boiler breakdowns cost the UK over £700 million per year in unexpected bills, which really we should underline that stat there. So, you know, the UK as a whole, we're putting £700 million worth of plasters on heating systems to repair them, to keep them going there. So again, as I said earlier on, prevention is better than cure. And this is where Colin will now talk about how we're going to use that with cleaning the systems, magna cleansing it, and putting filters on.
Excellent. Thank you, Darren. Yeah, I mean, those figures are just scary, aren't they? I have to say.
They are, Colin. It is unbelievable, really. How,
and I think for me, Darren, yeah, sorry. If you're going to have, you know, your boiler has to heat up a system full of sludge, black iron oxide, it's obvious that that gas is going to have to be on, or the oil's going to have to be on. It's basically going to be using more fuel and producing more emissions. It's obvious that. So if we get the water quality right and start working our way through. So let's go through AD's 6 steps that can help you engineers to get this water quality right, and then to get these emissions lowered, and basically help the environment, which is it's got to be good. So look, obviously AD's best practices, we like to follow it through. And the first part is clean a system. So obviously really important you get the right cleaners in the system. So at AD, we do the training and we go around and we get you to understand a little bit about cleaners. We do have 3 cleaners. We have MC3 Plus, we have MC5, and we have MC40 Plus. 3 cleaners for different types of system that are in a different fouled condition. MC3 is our standard, that can stay in for 28 days. So if you've got an old boiler that's is chugging away there, and we just talked about using too much gas up, get some cleaner in there, get it working into the water system, starting to break down that sludge, that black iron oxide, the surfactants, dispersants. At AD, we teach you to understand how a cleaner works. I'm an ex-fitter, guys, and I can't tell a lie. I probably didn't know a lot about chemicals until I joined AD, and that the wonderful knowledge that I've been given is the fact that it's so important we use the right cleaners for the job. And so, that's a good point. Even on new systems, guys, when your new rads go in, your new boiler goes in, you've still got issues in there that you want to make sure all the filings, the fluxes are all flushed out as well. So the cleaner is absolutely key. So part 1, get the right cleaner in and understand how it works. We do a rapid flush cleaner, MC5, that can go up into 7 days. So we've got a more concentrated cleaner if it's maybe an open vented system going to sealed. Lots of ways we can get that water quality clean. Okay, so make sure you understand why you're putting it in. And a minimum of an hour, by the way, for cleaners, guys. This is another thing that when I do the training, I promote. A lot of guys say to me, Cole, hang on, it's 10 to 5. Chase is on at 5. I'm not going to put that cleaner in for an hour. You know, we've got to get it in for a minimum of an hour, guys. You know, it's got to be in for a minimum of an hour with heat, so we can get it doing exactly what we want it to do.
Colin, the MC3 Plus cleaner, how long can we leave that in the system for?
Yeah, so that's an hour as well, Darren. Oh, so we can leave that up to 28 days, Darren, maximum.
28 days, right, okay.
Again, if you've got, say, you can prep it beforehand. So if you've got an older boiler that, you know, is still working, you could get that in quite easily, no problem at all. Or like I say, you can use it then and there when you're at the process itself of the Magna Cleanse. Now, part 2 of the AD's best practice is the Magna Cleanse. So what AD has, we obviously have the Magna Clean, that is your filter, which we'll go through in a moment, but the Magna Cleanse is our cleaning tool. Okay, so this is a machine that basically goes on to your filter connection. You remove your AD filter, you add the Magna Cleanse to it with the appropriate chemical, MC5 or MC3, and by this, you then can agitate the radiators, which helps you to lift the magnetite and get it back into our Magna Cleanse chambers that will capture that magnetite. Remember what we said in here? That magnetite, it's got to go somewhere. Let's get it into an area where we can then remove it, get this system clean. So Magna Cleanse is our cleaning tool. Okay? Yeah. And like I say, very straightforward process. You're not over stressing anything on the system. It works with the circulator of your heating system, so no over pressurizing or anything. And again, it's about procedure, guys. Once you understand it, you'll get quicker at it every time, and you'll get.
And am I right in saying, Colin, that moving on to that MagnaClean piece there, that the MagnaCleanse, it links in really nicely with the fitting one of the MagnaClean Pro 2, Micro 2, the innovative Pro 3 Sense filter that's been released, or the new game changer, the smallest filter on the market, the Atom filter.
Absolutely, Dan. We've got the range. So level 3 MagnaClean. Now, MagnaClean, is, like Darren said, is your filter you're putting on the system there. So again, Darren mentioned really exciting, the Pro 3, Wi-Fi enabled, so you can monitor the level of magnetite in a system. How about that via an app on your phone? So all of a sudden you can actually start seeing what's going on in that system. With magnetite levels are rising, there's a sign, there's something going on. You can get there before your customer becomes one of Darren's statistics. That's 700 million. So MagnaClean, just remember guys, MagnaClean is a continual protection. MagnaCleanse is the cleaning tool.
Okay, no, that's great.
Okay. The right filter for the job, Darren, is key as well. And let's say we've got the range there. Now,
yeah, exactly.
Protecting the system, we've carried out the clean, we've got the filter on. Obviously, we want to protect the system. So we need to make sure, Darren, and we get the right amount of inhibitor into the system for the size of the system. So our MC1 Plus range will treat 125 litres of water, Darren, or 15 radiators. That's a guide. And you'll find most domestic systems, one of our bottles or a Rapids will treat up to 98% of domestic systems with one bottle, Darren. So that's even better.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
Things, Darren, you mentioned environmentally. Our Rapids, first of all, they're not aerosol, guys. They're airbag in there. The tin is recyclable. Fantastic. Same with our bottles, guys. Recyclable bottles. Really keen that we push all those things, AD. But again, protecting the system. What you're looking to do, you've done the hard bit, cleaning the system. You now want to create a passive layer over those metal surfaces to stop that oxygen getting into those surfaces. And remember that corrosion, that rapid corrosion happening. So that's important. You get the correct amount of inhibitor into the system as well, Darren.
Excellent. Okay. And then once we've done that, Colin, as we said earlier on, that isn't it best to actually test the system just to make sure that once you've completed all that you can put that final tick in the box to say that everything has been correctly dosed and that the system is now fully protected?
Yeah, spot on, Dan. Yeah, basically what we've got at AD, we've got a water test kit. Basically 2 bottles of water. Again, you've seen them there, actually, there they are. The blue bottle, you take a sample of the mains water that fills the heating system up, and that's a sample of your heating water. Not like that, I hasten to add, that you'll have the correct amount of inhibitor in there. You send it off to us with a prepaid envelope back to our AD laboratory, and we will give you a UCAS approved certificate down for the water quality you are leaving that customer with. Shows all of the parameters, make sure you, so first of all, if you're not flushing properly, guys, you won't get the green tick you're after. Simple as that. That's the beauty of our water test will do. But there are other ways of water testing. We've got quick test sticks that will trace the molybdate, and there's a couple of other exciting things on the cards, and is now later on, which
right. So yeah, with that I think that I'm right in saying, Colin, that maintain piece, step 6, that's really for where we're going to do the servicing on an annual basis, just to ensure that inhibitor levels are kept to a premium level within the system. Absolutely, Dan. Again, this is where, guys, I want to see, you're servicing the boiler. I hope all of you are servicing the filter. What a massive opportunity, first of all, to go and see what that water quality is. You take the filter out, you want to put that filter back to 100% capture rate for the customer. So you isolate it, you take it out, you clean the sheath off, you assess what's going on there. If you've got a lot of magnetite on the sheath, I would say to you, I'd be thinking, hey, what's going on here? And all of a sudden it may lead to the fact that possibly, like we said, the Pro 3 that will tell us that the magnetite levels are rising, that the customer has been topping the system up with that fresh water because there's a leak somewhere, maybe, we don't know. No, absolutely. And the maintain, Darren, is absolutely key. It's a tremendous way of seeing what is going on in the system and using and changing the seal kits. Have the service kits in the van as well. There's another earning piece there as well, Darren. Okay, no, that's great. That's really, really interesting, Colin. There. So this slide here, this is how AD filters can help save the planet. So it really goes back to where we started right at the start about the retrofit piece, but also looking at new installs as well. So a couple of facts. So vibraclean filters have been installed in more than 5 million homes, not just in the UK, but as I said, in the USA, over in Australasia and in Asia as well. So and that continues to grow, which is great. The stat that I'm really proud of from the company is that we've saved over 1 million tons of CO2 being released annually, which is the equivalent of taking off 360,000 cars off the road, which for me is really, really impressive. And we just want that to continue to grow more and more there. And then, as I said earlier on, where we've completed our independent testing with Kiwa, is that by fitting a vibraclean filter and adopting the AD best practice, which Colin went through a minute ago, will save up to 250 kilos of carbon per property per year, which is a really, really impressive stat there. And also, alongside that is the energy saving. So fit one of these filters that you see there is going to save over £80 a year on customers' energy bills as well, which we've based that on a 3-bedroom property there. So again, we're saving the environment, we're saving the planet, and we're saving customers on their gas bill as well.
Yeah. I'll say, Darren, it's a really, just going back, that was really important. I think for me, you know, the saving on the fuel bill, guys, that's almost, you're well onto the way of the price of a filter almost anyway. And then
absolutely, Colin.
Continual protection. So really good. Now, this is something I just wanted to talk about, Dan. This is obviously, we talked about the Mac Cleanse process, and part of the Mac Cleanse process is to improve the performance of the heating system. And one of the wonderful ways of doing that is obviously by using the AD vibraclean, which goes into a drill. And on this slide here, Dan, this is something a job we had where a customer complained of a cold area. It was actually an area where it had 3 outside walls, so it was a little bit of an outside area. So it was quite chilly. And we can see on the left-hand side there, you've got that blue area. That's pyramiding. That's black iron oxide. That's sludge. That's magnetite in there. That's causing that output of that radiator to drop, obviously, and hence the room doesn't get warm enough. So guess what they're going to do? We're going to crank that boiler up. We're going to use more gas. We're going to put more emissions up outside. You know, that's what was happening. So we got the Magna Cleanse going on the system. We vibracleaned it. Took me 3 or 4 goes to get that to go. And you can see on the right-hand slide there, Darren, we managed to get that radiator with that lovely orange glow. And I'll tell you what, you can almost feel the room energized by the fact that we got that radiator back performing efficiently and effectively. And you can see. I take Colin with magnetite, and like on that picture on the left, that sludge gets welded in the radiator. So is water just trying to find its easiest route around? That's what it looks like on the left-hand side there. That it's just it's going, as you said, pyramiding over the top of that magnetite in the system. And that's, Darren, why it's a key. You know, when we do the Magna Cleanse process, that's our cleaning process. Guys get to understand how it works effectively. You know, we want the chemical in there to start lifting and breaking down that magnetite with the aid of the vibraclean, which is basically running it across the bottom of the radiator about 10, 15 times in your drill. And it basically vibrates the radiator, and that then starts to lift that magnetite and sends it back into those chambers so we can get hold of it and get it gone and get this system clean. And like I say, for me, Darren, is the fact that, you know, look at that output save. You know, we put that radiator, we've increased it by 47%. And I say, the customer literally said to me, crikey, what have you done? It's not rocket science.
Absolutely. So, so just linking into Colin's piece there, which is really good to see. So these are just a couple of stats that we've collated from various sources. But as we said earlier on, that everybody's gas bill is never going down. It's always going to go up, and energy prices continue to rise there. So if you just look at British Gas being one of the biggest utility companies that's in the UK, that gas is continuing to rise 8.4% per year, which is quite a scary stat there. And then if you link that against the stat on the right, that 42% of your energy bill, it comes up from heating and cooling a property. So 29% is due to heating. So as Colin quite rightly showed on the previous slide, that if you're trying to push that room stat up to heat the house more and more, and you've got all that dirty sludge in the system there, all that you're going to be doing is making that 29% keep rising and rising, which is quite a scary stat there. So really what we want to do across the UK and across the world is get that reduction there. Let's use more innovative ways of reducing carbon. The filters, the chemicals, and the Magna Cleanse process are key ones to achieve that. So, as we said earlier on, where we speak to homeowners about their heating system is the cost for heating a home. Everybody complains that their heating bill goes up; it never ever comes down. And then, what the biggest, scariest point is that how much it costs when that boiler, that system fails, whether it's pinholes in the pipework or the pump or the heat exchanger fails, is how much it actually costs to replace these parts. And let's face it, a boiler is a bit of a silent hero in the background that we don't really look at it. We don't look at it on a day-to-day basis. But when it breaks down, it's a massive concern because we haven't got any heating, we haven't got hot water there. So this is where AD can work with the installers, work with the social housing providers, work with developers as well, and also work across the retrofit piece. So look at new ways of actually helping customers to improve their heating efficiency, reduce their gas bills and energy bills each year as well, and ensure that they have trouble-free heating and hot water. So with this, the resources we have available, so AD has their own in-house marketing team that come up with these wonderful leaflets, slides, and resources that are available there. So if you go on ad.com, you'll be able to find all this. So Colin showed you earlier on the demo tubes. We have the demo jars, which we've had for many, many a year there. We have test sticks. We have quick test strips as well there. And also there's a saving calculator, which I always ask customers to have a look at, where they're looking to see which product would best suit their property, whether it's a one-bedroomed apartment right up to residentially up to a 5-6 bedroom property. With the filters, we can go even further. So we can go into the commercial sector where we can go into right up to 8-inch filters there, along with the commercial chemicals there as well.
Yeah. And if I may just say, the demonstration kit, what a tremendous way of getting that visual. Remember what we said about, I'm going to do it again, just very quickly, because I want to. You know, let's just shake that magnetite again. The customers it's out of sight, out of mind at the moment, but they've got problems. Could easily be like that, remember? How visual is that? You know, that magnetite going onto there. The demo is going to help you. But one thing I did wanted to say, on the slide before, we've got the leaflets available. I'm loving the leaflet. Now, when I was on the tools, I was an ex-fitter. Can I just say to you now, I think the leaflet has got is back very popular. You know, if you want to spread the knowledge to a customer, I'll tell you what, pop that through the door. Now, in the old days, I'd be ripping that up and putting in the recycling bin. I'm not now, because I'm like, hang on, I can save £80 here. I'll have a look at that when I'm having a cup of tea. Let's get your logo on there. Let's get it out and about and see if we can start getting some interest. Get your details on there. We're here to help at AD, and this leaflet puts a few ways and tips, and suddenly the customer says, do you know something? I'll tell you what, Cole, come round and give me a quote for a filter, and let's get this system working efficiently. And that could be a leaflet flyer the old-fashioned way. I did it many years ago, and it worked nicely for me. So it makes sure it's on the van anyway.
I take as well with this these leaflets as well, Colin, that we can use this across the social housing sector, where a social housing council or housing association are looking to provide better tenant comfort to their tenants to ensure that their heating system isn't breaking down, that it's a great education piece to them, and also that if a tenant can save up to £80 a year on their heating energy bill, surely that's got to be a benefit to them as well.
Darren, in this current, with the COVID-19, what it's done to all of us, it's changed everyone's thinking. And one of the key things, the purse strings are a lot tighter everywhere. And like I say, if getting a filter on the system can get that first saving, can then obviously, you can get the customer to start making that boiler more efficient by doing some very straightforward steps there, Dan. And I'll say, you're right, that leaflet will give the tenant a little view of that, say, crikey, yeah, I like the idea of this, what's happening in my property. And I'll say, I do believe the leaflet is back. I'll say no more.
Yeah, I agree with you, Colin, there. Yeah, no, fantastic.
Guys, is that Colin, Darren, thank you so much. That presentation, really interesting stuff, really helpful. I think we've got time for one or two questions now, but also where should, if people want to find out more, do they go to the website? Is there an email address as well that they can contact?
Yeah, so the website, Ben, is ad.com, where you can see everything from our residential products right through to commercial products, through to water testing as well. If there's any further questions, please direct them to marketing@ad.com, where we will endeavour to come back within 48 hours with the answer to that question.
Brilliant. And Pat has just one now, which is with regards to being environmentally friendly, what would you suggest, in terms of best practice for disposing of magnetite during a service? How would you get rid of that?
Yeah, right. That's Ben. That's a good question. I like that. Basically, look, magnetite. First of all, rule one: magnetite does not go down the ladies' sink and down the loo. All right, it needs to be disposed of properly. So we would encourage you to, once you clean the magnetite off, maybe a little bucket, sand bucket, kiddie sand bucket with maybe a white pedal bin liner, and just let the magnetite go into there where you can dispose of it properly, Ben. Into the bin, not down drains, not down areas where.
Sure. Yeah. Right.
Let's get the drains. Let's get this magnetite away. It's caused enough problems.
Yeah. Great. And obviously some fantastic products and fantastic things that we can do to solve those problems. So I think with that, guys, let's wrap up and say thank you very much. Hopefully, any other questions, do fire them through to the marketing email address there and go on the website. So Colin, Darren, thank you so much for your time and your engaging presentation and demonstrations today.
Thank you so much.
And thank you to everyone listening. Hope you enjoyed that. It will also be available to watch again online shortly, and we'll send the link round with that.
Ben, thanks for your time.
Thanks then, everyone.
And, thanks for
thank you,
everybody
Ben. Thank
who
you, everybody.
joined us.